Music is a universal language when you hear it, but writing it down on paper requires a special language. Sharps, flats, key signatures, staves, all the special symbols of music notation. This becomes this. Modern musical notation like this was perfected in the 17th century and has remained relatively unchanged since then. The oldest form of sheet music, however, goes back long before that. The world's most ancient musical notation was written on a clay tablet like this, a hymn composed over 3,000 years ago. This type of writing is called cuneiform, symbols pressed into clay tablets. These particular impressions were made by a scribe in the ancient and long-vanished civilization of Mesopotamia. Thanks to the work of Professor Anne Draftcorn-Kilmer and her colleagues here at UC Berkeley, the composition has been transcribed into modern music notation. And Professor Richard Crocker now plays this on a replica of the ancient instrument for which it was composed. He also sings the lyric in the original Hurrian language.
Tanu tani ashaziwe, shinu te zuturia ubugara, kuduni kashal kila zili shipri, umaruka tuari.
An echo of the past, preserved in clay for 3,500 years. Producing unusual music often requires surprising circumstances. This building provides access to an extraordinary musical experience, 15 stories below ground level in the cathedral cave of Luray Caverns.
We're now standing in the cathedral, home of the world's largest musical instrument, the great stalactite organ. The development of the organ began with a 5-year boy's birthday visit in 1954. The idea that stalactites could be used...
The boy had been brought by his father, an electronics engineer named Leland Sprinkle. Sprinkle realized there was music in the rock. Each of the stalactites hanging from the cave roof has its own natural tone, depending on its length and thickness. When Sprinkle finds a stalactite he can use, he tunes it by grinding it until he achieves the sound he wants. Sprinkle is able to draw music from the whole cave with a network of small strikers mounted next to the stalactites. Each is rubber-tipped and controlled by an electromagnetic coil. Sprinkle has worked for 30 years perfecting the musical balance in the cave. The effort has included installing miles of wiring that allow him to control all the strikers from one place, the console of the stalacpipe organ. Strangely, the sounds that stalactites produce aren't thunderous, but gentle and sweet. Inspired by music, some men undertake extraordinary adventures. In the jungle highlands of New Guinea, traveling on a grant funded by the Bechtel Group, a musicologist named Christopher Roberts goes in search of a precious heritage. He carries his music on his back. To collect and preserve music that might otherwise vanish, Roberts must journey to remote mountain villages. To encourage the villagers to share their songs, he first makes them a gift of his music. To them, a bass is as exotic and fascinating as the music Roberts plays on it, a Bach partita. The performance wins the confidence of the villagers. Roberts is now allowed to record songs that have passed from generation to generation for thousands of years. Old ways are changing as the young leave for city jobs. Without his efforts, these songs might disappear completely. Wherever he travels, he is greeted by smiles and music. Intrigued by Robert's bass, a village master craftsman has decided to make a local version, a bridge between two cultures. Presenting the finished bass becomes the occasion for a festival that will culminate with the only test that matters. Roberts came here looking for music. He has found joy.
In the cloak and dagger trade,